Wolf, get away from those sheep.
Bollocks.
You're listening to the Wolf and the Shepherd podcast, broadcasting from Fort Worth in the great state of Texas. Now, get ready for this episode of the Wolf and the Shepherd.
Welcome to this episode of the Wolf and the Shepherd. Today we have another episode of In Other News, and joining us, as always, once again, is Pat Beaman with On an Island with Pat Beaman. Pat, glad you could join us once again.
Good to be here. I feel like it's been months.
It does feel like it's been a while.
Yeah. He missed one episode as well, didn't he? We had to do it by ourselves.
Did we?
Yeah.
I don't remember.
How could something wild happen without me, though?
It was, well, that's why the Shepherd doesn't remember it.
Oh, well. Yeah,
Faded into obscurity.
Right. That makes total sense.
Yeah.
But I can't even remember what I had for dinner last night, so I'm not
Right.
too worried about what one of our podcasts were about.
Yeah. So, Pat, what have you been up to?
Softball. My daughter plays some softball,
Yeah.
and that's taking up my time.
I heard a rumor about you, actually, that when you first started in your main industry, that you slept your way to the top, but for the first year and a half, you forgot to check that any of your partners were actually in the same industry as you.
I didn't know that it was pertinent at the time.
Yeah.
I think I wasted a lot of effort.
Easy mistake to make.
Yes. Yeah.
But I made a lot of people happy. So.
Right. I think we've all been there, done
Yeah,
that.
slept
so
his way to a lateral position within the same organization. Yeah.
there you go. There you go.
Right.
So have you collected some news stories for us to discuss?
I have, and I feel given that the news at the moment is a little bit serious out there, that we need to kind of reflect some of the pressing issues that seem to be popping up again and again in the popular, news websites and, mainstream, news networks and stuff. So I've gone with some sea snot from Turkey. A man who was swallowed by a whale, or at least claims to have been, a woman who gave birth to 10 kids. And
That doesn't sound like it's that big a deal.
well, at once.
Oh.
Yeah.
Damn.
It's always a twist, isn't there?
Yeah. And a Indian woman who dropped dead at her own wedding, which normally isn't a normal topic for mirth, but this one has a nice twist to it. Oh, and there's obviously a visit from a resident of Florida who has done something crazy.
Oh, well, yes. None of these would be complete without somebody from Florida doing something
It's hard
crazy.
to avoid, actually. I have to throw away a lot of stories because they're from Florida.
Right.
We could just do a pure podcast on Florida.
Yeah, but there's all that Florida man stuff out there anyway.
Yeah.
We just don't want to be that kind of show.
No, maybe we
Right.
should do Florida woman.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Florida non-binary.
And Florida animals as well.
Yes. Yes, there are some crazy
Because there's
animals
some
in
real
Florida.
asshole animals
Yes,
in Florida,
that is
especially
true.
the gators.
Yes.
Yeah. So starts off, thick layer of sea snot, which I'm sure isn't its academic title, blankets Turkish coastline, suffocating marine life and wrecking fishing nets.
So do we know where the sea snot comes from? Do we find out in the article?
Well,
Or am I jumping ahead?
you are jumping ahead.
Oh,
It is a
sorry.
thick layer of marine mucilage known as sea snot. It's been covering Turkey's coast near Istanbul for weeks. The gunk is a mixture of fat, carbohydrates, and protein. So basically, my stomach's full of sea snot.
Well, yeah, but isn't all foods fat, carbs, and protein? That's what's on the back of the little
but
nutrition
this
fact
is
thing.
emitted by microscopic plankton when they're stressed. Have you ever been so stressed you've given off some snot?
No, not that I can recall.
It has stopped fishermen being able to cast their nets while also suffocating marine animals and coral. Experts say ocean water warmed by climate change, blah, 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 as well as fertilizer and raw sewage pumped into the sea are to blame for an unusual large number of plankton getting stressed.
So the
Is it
same.
the job that's making them stressed?
Well, they're trying to run that restaurant that is competing with the Krusty Krab, and that's why they're so stressed out, because they can't sell Krabby Patties.
Yeah.
They're still trying to steal that recipe. So I can understand the stress there.
Other than getting eaten, what do plankton do?
Cook Krabby Patties.
Well,
We've
no.
established that.
Well, yeah. I mean, most
Yeah. They have the one eye, too.
they just have one eye.
Yeah, they have the one eye, and they're really
Does
smart.
it double as a bum hole?
No, but they're really smart. They're very scientific and everything. They have all these plans. They just never can follow all the way through with it. I mean, they're a little bit on the evil side. You can't trust them.
Okay.
They're like
no,
cats.
that's a minion.
No, I think Plankton too. But yes, the minions. No, the minions aren't smart, aren't they? All
They have
led
one
by
eye.
the. Well, yeah, they do have the one eye. So does that guy from
You talking
Monsters
about the
Inc.
cartoon, the Minions thing?
Sure.
Yeah, it's true though.
Some of them have two eyes.
They do.
Mind you, the ones with two eyes, there's one of the more famous ones with two eyes has to wear glasses, whereas the one with one eye doesn't. So I think that cycloptic approach to vision has actually helped him out.
Yeah, that's a good point. But I don't think Plankton have to wear glasses. So maybe, since they have the 20/20 vision, the Plankton are better than the minions.
Yeah, but I can't remember any of the Minion cartoons mixing in a bunch of sea snots.
Yeah, but the minions are fake, where Planktons are real.
What do you mean they're fake?
No, I'm pretty sure they're fake. I don't think they really exist.
Really?
I don't think so.
Pat, is this the first you've heard?
Well, I've seen them on the big screen, so
Yeah, so that's yeah.
See, I haven't.
Right.
So maybe that's the problem.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, so anyway, that was the end of the information I could get on that. Stressed plankton, giving out a lot of snot, which seems to have the same mix of ingredients as my gut.
Right. But
And it stopped fishing and stuff. And
I would avoid the
Turkey.
beach if that was there.
yeah,
not only that, but like I said, I do understand their stress level.
Yeah.
It's got to be a stressful life being a plankton.
there are many reasons to avoid turkey. This is just one of them.
Yes.
Yeah. So, moving on to a interesting story. Bride drops dead of a heart attack at a wedding in India, so her sister marries the groom instead after families make a tough call to carry on with the festivities.
Well, is that really a tough call, though? I mean, they invested all that money in the wedding. They're like, we've already paid for this. There was no refunds, anything like that. We're going to have a wedding.
Well, how would you feel if your wife dropped dead on your wedding day and you had to marry your sister? Because she's got a sister, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, okay. Had they already been married? It sounds like it was before the marriage.
No, it's at the wedding. At a wedding. During the ceremony.
So they probably hadn't completed.
Right. Yeah, that's how I take it, that it wasn't done yet. It was
Well,
like
as
right
you
in the
paid your
middle.
money, you might as well.
It's the reason you have to finish
right.
it, because you
Yeah.
paid for it.
Yeah.
But let's face it all comes down to, what does the sister look like?
Yeah,
True.
that's true.
No, that's an excellent point.
That's a very good point.
So, I mean, normally you have about a 50-50 chance, right? Let's say, you're marrying some chick, right? And they've got a sister. You've either got the better looking one or the worse looking one. So in some cases, good. In some cases, bad.
Yeah, I've got.
Do we have pictures?
I do have a photo.
Outstanding.
I do have
Nice.
a photo of the sister, and I've got a few words to say for our listeners who obviously can't see the picture. But
We have to compare her. Do we not have the original
but
bride?
Princess of Naboo comes to mind a little bit. Yeah.
Is that just the way you snap the picture, or is there a giant ring hanging from her nose?
No, there's a giant ring hanging from her nose.
Oh, okay.
Makes them
So
easier
that
to pull
is
towards
not
you.
an optical illusion then, that
No.
there is a giant ring hanging from her nose.
That
and
is a giant ring.
Yeah, and not one of those like little nose piercings. We're
Yeah.
talking about like Jennifer Lopez style hoop earrings hanging from her nose.
Yeah.
And it looks like the hand, Chubb's hand from Happy Gilmore is actually.
Oh my
touching
gosh,
her.
good call, Pat.
lapel.
That is exactly what that looks
So
like.
looking at that photo, what do you think, Pat? Smash or pass?
Oh, smash for sure. But again, I've got to see the sister to know whether I've improved my lot or
That's true.
Well,
That's a tough call there because
the groom looks like.
Oh, that's the groom. I thought that was.
Remember that episode of Dave Chappelle where he does that skit and he plays Prince? This is what the groom looks like. Oh, he looks
Okay.
like Dave Chappelle.
Okay.
He's
Now
kind of
that
being-
now that you turned the phone
Prince.
around and showed me the picture, now I can tell that's a man. Upside down, that's kind of tough to look at because you think the mustache is actually just kind of a shadow.
Well, upside down. Because
it's one of those little.
His hat doesn't fall off.
Yeah, but it's one of those little thin mustaches, for the men that just don't have an upper lip and they just cannot grow a mustache.
Right. Oh, here we go.
Oh, wait. Why is that?
Wait. That original photo I showed you, the royalty from Naboo, that was actually the original bride. Now, I do want to say in this photo, she looks a bit sick. She looks a bit poorly, doesn't she?
Is that the same girl?
Yeah. That's the same one?
Yeah, she really looks unhappy.
No
this must
way.
Be like 20 seconds before the heart attack or something.
Oh, wow.
Look at that. Went downhill.
She looks like she saw the Prince mustache on the guy.
Well, but in that picture, she doesn't have the big ring hanging out of her nose.
Well, she looks like the type of woman who has eaten some stressed plankton.
Yes.
Yes. Well, anyway.
With the side of the snot.
All right. Well, I've got a picture of the sister who looks, I don't know. She looks like an Aborigine.
Yeah. So, okay, the sister is the circled one?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. It went the wrong way. Yeah, it went the wrong way.
She's not wearing makeup, is she?
You cannot go through with that wedding.
It should have been her.
That looks like the brother.
Right. Well, no, the one in the middle is kind of like, I think if there are any non-gender weddings taking part that day, they could fulfill either role.
Right. And they also look like they're giving like a little gangsta nod to the camera, rocking their head back like that.
Well, none of them look happy, to be fair. Mate, you know what it's like in some cultures, actually, where the dead people, I mean, they used to do it like in England and in the United States, that if your relatives died, they'd prop them up to make them look like they were alive and take photos of them.
Right.
Weekend at Bernie's.
Yeah. And well,
very, very similar.
But they'd put them in positions like they'd be in normal life, and that would be the last photo of them. I wonder if this photo is her already dead and they're just holding her up. Looks kind of suspect.
Because the one right next to her, it is kind of struggling.
Yeah.
And maybe she's bearing all the weight of holding up the dead body.
She's kind of got that unlucky and unenthusiastic look, like she has just died of a heart attack.
That is true.
Yeah. So there must be more.
And
to
maybe
the story.
maybe they took the big ring out of the nose to do CPR,
right?
And that's why the ring's missing.
Yeah. Right. Here we go. So bride Serbhai suffered a fatal heart attack during the ceremony in Uttar Pradesh. A doctor was called to the scene but was unable to save the woman. The families agreed to continue the ceremony by replacing the bride with her sister. And the family carried on the festivities. It sounds like they just wanted to get really badly drunk and they weren't going to let this be a little...
Not only that, but obviously the family must have been kind of a not so well-to-do, because a well-to-do family would have probably had a doctor actually at the wedding.
Well, who says this doctor wasn't at the wedding? Remember, they're Indian. A lot of Indians are doctors.
I know, but you just said they had to call a doctor in.
This entire wedding is probably filled with doctors and IT help support desk.
That's true. Yeah, and people, maybe this was, though, the people that are trying to sell you the extended warranty for your car.
Yeah.
Because you got those 3 different tiers. That's what I learned in school about the caste system in India. You got the extended car warranties, you got the IT support, technical help guys, and then you have the doctors.
Yeah.
And those are pretty much the 3 jobs in India.
Yeah, and they're brilliant at all of them.
Yes.
Right.
Much better than Americans are.
Yeah. Families,
especially the car warranty people.
Yes. Families of both parties agreed to continue with the wedding ceremony by replacing the bride with her sister Nisha. Serbia's body was kept in a separate room, that's nice of them, while the festivities took place, and she was later cremated. When it says later, I'm assuming like later on that week, not like after the
like
main meal.
Yeah, not after the meal, but before you cut the cake. It's like, hey, we got a little housekeeping to take care of. Let's go ahead and do the cremation before we cut the cake.
Yeah.
But think of all the money you'd save on the funeral by doing it at the same time.
Right.
Oh, yeah, because you've already rented out the venue.
You got the hall.
Yeah, absolutely. That's smart thinking right there.
Well, think if you're going to be doing some grilling, some barbecuing out the back, you don't have enough wood pellets, don't have any charcoal. What have we got? Serbia.
Yeah, and not only that, think of the added kind of taste that smoke would give off.
Right. Yeah.
That might be kind of nice.
I think there'd be some toxicity with how much makeup she's got on. That's
a little bit.
Let off some chemicals.
So do they talk any about the groom? They say both parties agreed to continue on with the ceremony, but, what about the groom? Was he only offered, the one vote? So it's like maybe he got outvoted and he's like, oh, no, I don't want this. I don't want this. Like, sorry, you're outvoted. This is what's happening.
Right, where we go. One of Serbi's uncles, Ajab Singh, told Mail Online, which is the newspaper, the Daily Mail, that's where we get most of this crap from, it was a tough call for the family to carry on with the wedding. It's hard to believe a dead body was in the room and a bride was being prepared in the next one. We did not know what to do in this situation. Both the families sat together and someone suggested my younger sister Nisha should be married to the groom. Several factors could explain the family's decision. The bride's family would likely have been expecting a dowry, while the grooms would have wanted to avoid the stigma of returning from a wedding without a bride. I think it's a decent enough excuse, isn't it? Like, if you turn up and the friends are like, oh, where's the wife? Oh, she died at the wedding. Oh, and you didn't marry somebody else?
Right.
Was your grandmother not there? So you're saying there's nobody you could marry?
Well, not only that, but I'm sure there's some kind of cultural significance here that, you can't leave a wedding single that you were supposed to be at and not be married.
Well, I think the last in other news, we were talking about a member of parliament in India suggesting that you eat cow dung and rub it over your skin and pour piss in your eyes to cure COVID. So this isn't the strangest thing that has happened in India this month.
Right. Yeah, not a stretch.
Not a stretch. So anyway, you like Outback Steakhouse, Pat?
Oh, I love Outbacks. The salad, top notch.
All right. Well, a rampaging naked Florida woman, 53 years old, so she's going strong, probably on bath salts or something.
Sure.
Destroys an Outback Steakhouse, which I doubt. She probably damaged it a little bit, maybe did a couple $100 damage, and hurls bottles at cops before being tasered. Now, I do have a photo of the woman.
I saw this video. I didn't realize it was Outback Steakhouse, but I saw the entire video of this.
She looks
it was
pretty good shape for her age.
Yeah, I didn't realize she was that age, but no, I did see this video.
She looks like she's taking a dump on the desk.
Yeah, I mean, she just runs in there naked and starts throwing around bottles.
Oh, she was naked when she ran in there?
Yeah, in the video. I saw it on 9gag, and seriously, she just comes in. She was angry about something. The cops come in. They try to subdue her. She doesn't want to listen. They taser her. The whole 9 yards.
Kind of stealing my thunder here with the story, if I'm honest.
I'm sorry.
Right. Tina Kindred, 53, was acting out of control, according to reports. She can be seen naked, standing on top of a restaurant bar. She begins trashing the bar, pulling each bottle down and smashing them. Kindred emerges out of the bar and begins to approach a police officer. When she gets close, the cop deploys a taser, knocking Kindred to the ground. The cop yells at her to get on her stomach as he threatens to use it again. Outside of THC, however, Kindred did not appear to have any narcotics in her system after she was treated by medical staff. She has been charged with aggravated battery on law enforcement, as well as felony criminal mischief after doing thousands of dollars of damage.
Oh, she threw a lot of bottles during that video, but it was a little bit blurry. When you tell me she's 53, that was a shocker.
Yeah.
I did not realize she was 53.
Well, she threw at least 3 bottles, so maybe as many as 4, at the officers, including one that hit an officer's arm. Oh.
Okay. Well, she was throwing all kinds of glasses, everything. I mean, it was a crazy video, and the video that I saw probably went on for like 2-3 minutes of her just being nuts.
Right. There's a possible explanation here, which is not guessable. So, Pat, what do you think may be one of the contributing causes to this act of madness from this otherwise delightful woman?
I'm going with drugs.
After Kindred was tasered, she was placed in handcuffs before being transported to Advent Health for treatment. At the health center, it was discovered that she may have had a fentanyl patch in her pubic area. That might do it.
Oh, our old F friend fentanyl.
You can't take fentanyl through the vagina and expect to keep a level head in the afternoon.
No, that's true.
A number of times that situation's played out.
I know.
Yeah.
I mean, that's just something that happens every week.
Should have a poster on it. Do not enter into this establishment
with a fentanyl patch near your genitals.
With a fentanyl patch near your pubic region. B, make sure you practice responsible social distancing. Oh, mind you, it's Florida, so screw that.
Oh, well, and it does make sense that it's Florida because, of course, I saw the video and I had no context. I just saw this video of this crazy woman going into a bar and throwing stuff around, and then a cop's tasering her.
Well, she was held on a $5,000 bond, which seems reasonable, I suppose.
Ah, it seems a little cheap, doesn't it?
Well, she only did a few $1,000s damage.
Well, yeah, but if they hold her on a $5,000 bond and she only did a few $1,000 damage, couldn't she have just paid that and been done?
Oh, well, it didn't say she didn't. Well, remember, she was being held at the time of this story. She probably paid it that same afternoon.
Fair enough.
This would have been one of those anchorman situations. If you heard this was going on, you had to get there and report on it immediately.
Yes.
There were no later updates.
That's when you dispatch the reporter on the scene.
Yep. So, we know the story in the Bible with Jonah and the whale.
No.
We're moving on from the fentanyl and the pubic area.
No, I have one more thing.
Go on.
So Pat said that he likes Outback Steakhouse, and I'm going to say, Outback's not bad, but the ambiance in an Outback Steakhouse kind of sucks.
Yeah.
This would make your dinner at Outback Steakhouse so much more impressive to take out a group. Wouldn't you agree? Dinner and a show, exactly. I mean, dinner theater's expensive. But this, if you don't have to pay extra, makes it worth going to Outback.
Yeah, I mean, the average amusement level in a restaurant is when everybody claps, when a waiter drops a plate in the back room or something. That's about as much as you can hope for.
Well, and as boring as going out to eat is anymore, I mean, maybe some restaurants need to stage some incidents like this. Because I haven't honestly thought about going to an Outback Steakhouse in quite a while. Now I kind of want to go to Outback Steakhouse now.
Yeah, but the problem is, now this has happened once, the chances of it happening again grow smaller.
Maybe not.
Unless it's one of those heads or tails thing.
Yeah.
Maybe
everybody that wants to go crazy decides, hey, we should do this at Outback Steakhouse. Why do we keep repeating their name so much? And they're not even a sponsor.
Us. But Outback Steakhouse, if you are listening, which chances are pretty slim. If you don't currently have a podcast sponsor, we are available, as we are available for any other steakhouse who happen to be listening. So,
except for Sizzler.
Why?
We don't want that.
Well, it's better than nothing.
Oh, that's true.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sizzler, if you're listening, and everybody else turns us down,
we'll take
you're up.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Right. Can I move on to the man who was swallowed by a whale?
Yes.
All
Jonah?
Right, no, not him.
Oh.
But I was just giving that as a pretext, just so you understood the concept of a man being swallowed by a whale.
Oh, okay.
Just in case your mind couldn't envisage the situation.
Right.
Right. Now, are there any whales who swim around your island, Pat?
Oh, I'm sure there are. We don't monitor the marine life, but I'd be shocked if there weren't.
But if there were, the people that you pay to monitor that would let you know that there was like a problem out there.
Well, if there were a problem, but, I mean,
but there's no problem, so you don't know about it. Yeah. Okay,
well, that makes sense. All the pterodactyls would have scared them off.
Hey, it's need to know only.
Yeah. You slipped up a little bit there. You shouldn't have said anything about that.
Yeah. Not meaning to give away. It's a little bit of a Jurassic Park type experiment going on in the lower third part of the island there. So it sounds fishy, which is stupid because a whale's a mammal. Doctors and experts cast doubt on Lobster Man's claim. Now, this isn't a superhero called Lobster Man. This is a lowercase L, so it's just a basic man who catches lobsters. It's not Lobster Man.
Right, but Lobster Man would make a nice superhero.
He would.
Especially if he can turn wood into cereal.
Yeah. I can imagine he's got limited influence in the superhero world, though. I mean, I don't know what type of events, because Aquaman's pretty much got the sea stuff.
Oh, that's
covered,
true.
Isn't he?
Yeah, so Aquaman kind of supersedes Lobster Man's authority.
Right.
Aquaman is managing this dude.
He's a minion.
Yeah, there you go.
We're going to have to take a quick detour. Why would he turn wood into cereal?
Because that's the ultimate superpower.
Well, we talked about superpowers a while back, and we were talking about unusual superpowers, and the shepherd decided that turning wood into cereal would be a useful, although it sounds more like a sideshow type ability.
It's still the best superpower.
I've had some cereal that tastes a little bit like wood.
Shredded wheat.
Exactly.
Shredded wheat tastes like wood.
I like shredded wheat.
Oh, no.
It's all right.
Well, that's from you growing up in England. You didn't have good cereal over there.
Oh, we did. Better than your stuff over here. All your stuff over here is just solid sugar almost.
You didn't. Yeah, exactly. That's what makes fantastic cereal.
That's not true.
Yes, it is.
Well, anyway, experts cast doubt on Lobster Man's claim he was swallowed whole by a humpback whale, saying his lack of serious injury is suspect.
Well, to be in defense of the media here, if Lobster Man comes up to us and tries to tell us a story, I think I wouldn't believe it if they go by Lobster Man.
I'm just trying to check to make sure that's just not his last name, because he might be Jewish. He might be like Phil Lobsterman.
Oh, that's true.
Yeah.
Is it?
If he was Jewish, wouldn't he be Lobsterstein?
Well, Mun, Jewish names end in Mun as well.
Well,
there was that joke on Friends about it's Spider-Man, not Spider-Man.
But he couldn't be Jewish because Jewish people don't eat shellfish.
Freshwater fish they don't eat. Is it because they consider them unclean?
Yeah, but I don't think they eat lobster.
There's actually more verses against eating shellfish in the Bible than there is against homosexuality.
Let's not go down that rabbit hole.
Apparently it mentions, sea fish being unclean and it being a sin to consume it more than it does homosexuality.
Yeah.
Now
Moving on.
I guess they had lobster back then.
Now, if it's gay lobsters, it might be a whole different.
Oh,
That's
true. What about the blue ones?
The blue ones, blue lobsters.
Yeah. Have you ever seen a blue lobster?
Not which hasn't been painted.
No, there's like rare blue lobsters.
Are they cold?
A little bit. Yeah. But no, you can catch a blue lobster. It's like that diamond in the rough of catching the lobsters.
And it's not like near Chernobyl or...
No. Look it up on the internet. There's blue lobsters.
In San Francisco Bay or anything.
No, it's not like New York City in San Francisco.
Right.
No,
Yeah.
it's not that kind of thing. But there are legitimately blue lobsters.
And are they gay?
I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know if one of them's ever been interviewed about their sexual preference.
Okay. Well, doctors and experts are skeptical of the account by Lobster Man, Michael Packard. The 56-year-old was on a routine dive off the coast of Cape Cod when he claims he felt a bump and everything went dark. Doctors say someone undergoing such an encounter would have suffered from serious injuries, including hearing loss as a result in the change of water pressure, which I don't know if I believe that.
No, I don't believe that.
Packard feared he was being eaten by a shark. Yeah, I think when you're eaten by a shark, it feels a little bit different than a bump and things going dark. I think it's more kind of...
Well, sharks have those...
That hurts.
Yeah, they have all those sharp teeth and everything.
Right.
I'm pretty sure you'd know if you were being eaten by a shark.
Well, he claims he was inside of a whale. A lobster diver for 40 years, Packard said he struggled and feared for his life, but after about 30 seconds, the whale spat him out.
And just so we're clear, when he was inside the whale, he was inside like the mouth, right?
Yeah.
Not the other way of being inside a whale.
Yeah. It doesn't say if he's on his way to Nineveh or not. I can't.
Okay. Well,
a lobster diver has been accused of lying about being swallowed. So this went downhill quickly. He had all this story and he's been accused of lying. Says it spat him back out because it didn't like how he tasted. I don't know if he can make that.
did they interview the whale?
I don't know yet. Hold up. He reportedly ascended from a 45-foot depth in 20 to 40 seconds and didn't have any evidence of barotrauma, the unnamed emergency room doctor said, which leads me to believe this story is not true. But Michael Packard should have suffered hearing loss as well following the freak accident.
I don't understand why he should have suffered hearing loss.
Well, this is the thing. If he really is the superhero Lobster Man, surely he would have been immune to these side effects anyway.
Right. Absolutely.
Well, it's got a picture of him. Does he look like a lying piece of crap, Pat?
He does not.
He doesn't. This does not look like the face of a liar.
No, not at all.
Not at all. We believe you, Lobster Man.
But he doesn't have lobster claws for hands.
He doesn't. But yeah, but
that's what I was
wear
expecting.
A costume though. Batman doesn't walk around in a cape as Bruce Wayne, does he?
Well, if he goes to the opera.
Batman of the Opera.
Well, no, when Bruce Wayne goes to the opera. I think he wears a cape.
Does he?
I think you're supposed to wear a cape if
Only
you
at
go
the
to the
posh
opera.
ones. And
Is there a non-posh opera?
oh yeah. Oh yeah.
I've never been to the opera,
You know,
so I
I've been
wouldn't
to a
know.
lower class opera.
Do they have a lot of those in England?
No.
Oh,
No, it's one of those ones. It's an open air one. You know, like they try and recreate it from like Shakespeare's time and all that crap, although he didn't write operas that I know of. But yeah, it's an amphitheater, those outside
Right.
amphitheater type craps where you sit on the stone seats and stuff. Yeah, that was terrible. People running around, puking, fighting. And that was just on the stage. The audience was out of control.
yeah. You're sure that wasn't a Dave Matthews Band concert?
No, because I would never go to one.
Okay. Just want to make sure.
So let me see here. Were there any updates on this story? Although the physician didn't treat Packard personally, he was released from Cape Cod Hospital Friday afternoon, mere hours, with no broken bones and just some soft tissue damage. So there we go. So
Well,
I
it's
believe
not-
you, Lobster Man.
Yeah, it sounds like he escaped pretty easily out of
Yeah.
that. Cool story that he got a little notoriety.
Oh, I'll tell you what.
What?
We need to get in touch with him. We've got his name. We need to get him on the show.
Oh.
Outstanding.
Well, now, hang on. Pat, you don't already have him booked, do you?
I don't have him booked
Okay,
yet.
okay.
but
Then we need to get on that because that would be somebody I know. Pat just sends a text message and could get this guy. So,
Right.
so yeah, I'm sure we'll think about this for about 5, maybe 10 seconds, and then forget about it.
Oh, no, I'm going to contact him. We need him on. Just
Okay.
like we need this next woman on.
Ah,
Woman who claims she gave birth to 10 children, like I said earlier, at once, Pat, in South Africa is admitted to psychiatric ward.
I would be too.
Well, you've only got 4 kids and you feel like you need to go in a psychiatric ward.
Absolutely.
And yours
But-
weren't even born all at the same time.
Right, and
Nor
that-
did they come from your non-existent vagina.
Yes, that's true. And on top of that, I mean, can you imagine going from 0 kids to 10 kids
Yeah.
basically instantly? You know, within a day.
Now, I'll be honest with you.
Think of all the birthday presents
There's a
you
photo
gotta
of her
buy.
here. She does look like she's carrying 10 kids.
Oh,
But she also looks like she's got an Ottoman stuffed up a dress.
wow. Yeah,
Because
she
that's
looks
an
like
unusual shape.
well, she looks like she's trying to steal a turkey from Kroger's.
Yeah, like a dozen turkeys.
Yes.
Yeah. So what do you think, Pat? Smash or pass?
no pass.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll definitely pass.
Hard pass.
Yes.
Not even from behind.
Obviously, somebody has
Yeah.
already smashed.
So
Is that a picture of her husband? What's no? Scroll back down.
yeah,
Oh,
he looks,
yeah. Is that the dude?
He looks normal, dude.
Yeah, he's got, but he does have that look on his face like, what did I just do?
Well, she's still pregnant at that point.
Well,
He probably thinks there's a couple in there, or maybe she started off that size and it's an unknown quantity, bit like a lucky dip bag.
yeah, no, that's a good point. I mean, he does, he looks kind of happy, but at the same time, he looks kind of worried.
You got to think by like baby 5 or 6, they're just crawling out.
Yeah, absolutely. They're probably walking out.
It's like using dynamite to blow open a cave entrance. Once that's done, they just fall
Yeah,
out. She just
exactly.
stands up and they drop out and they just cut while they're dangling, they just kind of cut the cords.
He had to be happy though as a man because now all of a sudden he can be the quarterback and now he's got a football team.
Super sperm. Right. So, what's her name here? Oh, Gisiami. I almost pronounced this wrong. Her last name is Sithole. Sithole.
Ooh,
That she'd have trouble in a public school over here in the
kidding.
American education system.
yeah, I remember
Yeah.
growing up, a friend of mine had a kid in his class and his name was Sithed. Shited.
Yeah. She.
Shithed.
Yeah.
Like, can you imagine growing up with that name in the United States?
I've got an even better one than that. Well, anyway, this woman, she better have grown up in a really nice house. Otherwise, the description of her house would have been somewhat exaggerated. But no, there was a guy I read about, and I think it was on Reddit. His name was Michael Catfunt.
Michael Cat.
Catfunt. Yeah, he said in school he dared not put on 1 ounce of weight.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. Poor bastard.
Yeah. She was taken to Tembisa Hospital for a psychiatric evaluation just days after her partner, Tebogo Tisotetsi, said he does not believe the 10 children exist.
Well, that's one way to get out of child support.
Right,
I mean,
yeah.
he just
I
says,
don't
"Well,
believe
they
this,
don't.
mate."
Yeah, they don't exist.
Yeah.
So come find me."
Government and hospital officials have also cast doubts over the authenticity. Well, I mean, assuming she's got to just got to show the babies, right? And that's kind of...
I mean, isn't that the way to prove the authenticity? It's like, I walked in here, I have no babies.
Yeah.
Now I have 10 babies. How do you disprove that?
Because it's difficult to kidnap 10 babies. I mean, a couple you can get away with, but 10's a lot.
10, she deserves the Nobel Peace Prize if she was able to kidnap those. I'm pretty sure they give away the Nobel Peace Prize for kidnapping babies.
She's got a lawyer alleging she is being held against her will. Ms. Sithole.
How that's tough to say, isn't it?
Is. Every time I read it, I kind of get that little bit of a blur, and I just want to call a spade, and just, you know. Because if you look at that first picture, you look at that couch,
feel sorry for that
couch. From there. Yeah. Was first apprehended by police officers at a relative's house in the northern township of Raby Ridge. Sounds like a fun place to live.
Sounds like somewhere from Blazing Saddles.
Well,
that's Ruby Ridge.
Near the city of Johannesburg.
Wait, no, that's not Ruby Ridge.
No.
That's where all the murders took place.
Raby Ridge, okay. So, here we go. She was transported to a police station, handed over to social workers, admitted to the hospital for psychiatric treatment, hadn't actually been arrested for a crime. She claimed she had given birth, but she was denied post-birth treatment, whatever that is. A few stitches. She needs more than a few stitches.
She needs a whole singer-sewing machine.
She needs like somebody who knits pullovers for a living in there for 72 hours. Probably using those knitting needles as well. For
those big giant needles.
She told her boyfriend she gave birth to the babies after midnight on June 8th. So here we go. Since being admitted to the hospital's psychiatric ward, Sithole has been subjected to mental torture and starvation, which I don't think would hurt her, looking at the first picture. And she has also been handcuffed. A protest against her internment was due to be held by relatives, but they didn't turn up. Dalian Maboweni, one of the march organisers, claimed that Mrs. Sithole said she was being mistreated by the hospital. This is breaking her. We want her released because she has been held by her will. She also slammed her boyfriend for saying he did not believe the decuplets exist, accusing him of trying to hurt her and ruin what she has with her babies, which are yet to be found.
They lost the babies?
The mother had said she will continue to keep her children's whereabouts secret. So if she didn't give birth to them in a hospital, what was it, like home birth or something?
Oh, that could be.
Because it's just after midnight. So, I mean, like in the evening, you kind of feel like a bit of kicking. Or you're dropping out a whole bathtub full of water out of a vagina, which I'm assuming if you're carrying 10 babies is the norm.
That's got to be messy.
You'd probably get yourself to the hospital. But after midnight, nobody's going to be open this time of night. So
yeah, plus you probably have to pay extra.
There's only Walmart open, so... Right. Her comments came after her boyfriend said he had not seen his girlfriend or the alleged children since her incredible claims, which made headlines worldwide. There we go. I speak to Tsetsi now and then. I feel that they never loved me. I was just forced to be with him. Yeah, it doesn't go further on with that. But,
it's kind of sad for all those kids.
Yeah.
I mean, you got this orphanage laying there, right? And they've got like 30 babies in there. And now all of a sudden they get a huge intake of babies. And now they got to try to find somewhere for that.
Right.
Angelina Jolie could have probably went over there and adopted all of them, though.
Well, yeah, she's not averse to stealing a baby here and there, is she?
Right, exactly. Did anybody call her?
I don't know.
You know,
she was probably on the first plane over there at the moment. Well, that's probably where they've gone.
That's true.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe they just should check Angelina Jolie's house and they'll find all the babies. Because that's what she does.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, with all that said, thanks for tuning into this episode of The Wolf and the Shepherd, and we will catch you on the next one.
Thanks for listening to this episode of the Wolf and the Shepherd podcast. If you like what you just heard, we hope you'll pass along our web address, thewolfandtheshepherd.com, to your friends and colleagues. And please leave us a positive review on iTunes when you get a chance. Check us out on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter for additional content. Join us next time for another episode of The Wolf and the Shepherd.